vegan, I thought, yes, I'm vegan. Now what the heck do I eat? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. It is all about vegan alternatives. And having been vegan for such a long time, sometimes you just forget that in the beginning, you don't know exactly what to eat and how to replace and how do you have a meal that doesn't contain milk, egg, cheese, butter, and meat inside of it. What the heck do you eat? Well, it's more than just lettuce leaves. It's more than just a slice of apple. So let me give you some alternatives that you can have as you're transitioning to a vegan diet, or even these are things that I eat even to this day. Being a vegan is easier than it has ever been before. I feel like the whole world is really trending towards a plant-based diet because of sustainability reasons. Factory farming puts a huge burden not only on our planets, all of the animals who are really, really mistreated and only bred to be able to make food for us. And also factory farming is really bad for our health, not only environmentally for people who live near those factory farm areas. There are so many lifestyle diseases that can be prevented by cutting out the amount of animal products that we eat on a daily basis. So starting out with meat, some vegan alternatives to meat are fake meats. These are still processed, but I absolutely want to mention them in the meat section because I think it's a really valuable food that people can eat when they're trying to get away from animal products. So things like veggie burgers, chick burgers, fish fillet type burgers, anything that kind of mimics the taste of meat and it's just a fake meat. There are so many companies out there and they're all really just getting better and better at creating mock meat. Then you can go with things that take on whatever flavor that you marinate them in. So like tofu or tempeh or even mushrooms and eggplants. All of those are going to have a meaty consistency to them, a meaty texture when you eat it. I've secretly made some recipes that contain mushrooms and tofu, and meat eaters have not even realized that it was vegan. So those things really mimic the meat kind of taste. I have a sushi recipe in my book where I marinate some mushrooms, and that kind of gives a nice little taste inside of the sushi. You can make your own veggie burgers out of mushrooms and beans and fry them up yourself. You can saute some eggplant in nice thick slices, and that kind of gives a meaty texture. You can steam portobello mushrooms and then just season them with whatever sort of spices you like, and that really provides a meaty consistency as well. And one that I haven't tried but I've seen many recipes for is using jackfruit and then sauteing it or marinating it in some kind of spice that you like that you would normally put on meat, and then you can kind of use it as pulled pork. So Google some recipes for that. I've never tried it, but it looks really amazing. I have a video that I will link below. It is a no tuna recipe. It mimics the taste of tuna fish, like a tuna fish salad. And I know for my husband, he eats that every single week. I make a giant batch and he just eats it throughout the whole week. And it is really satisfying. It's completely made from seeds and nuts. Moving on to milk. Almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, cashew milk, the list goes on, it's endless. There's so many nut-based milks and seed-based milks that you can have. Coconut milk is a really thick plant-based milk, and it goes really well with not only dessert recipes but also Indian recipes, any kind of thicker sauce that you want to make. It works really well. Almond milk is something that I have all the time. I make my own. You can make your own cashew milk. You can make your own Brazil nut milk, macadamia nut milk. There's so many possibilities. And so many are sold in stores if you don't want to make your own, but then also it's really easy to make. You just blend up water and almonds and a few dates and a little bit of salt, and you've got a homemade nut milk that tastes absolutely amazing. As far as eggs go, you can use tofu along with some nutritional yeast, different kinds of onions and garlic, and make a tofu scramble. It really does satisfy if you're looking for an egg type taste or a scrambled egg type taste. In recipes where it calls for eggs, you can use a flax egg, which is just a little bit of ground flaxseed with water. It kind of creates like a little gel, and it gives the same kind of texture as an egg would to a recipe. Also, in addition to that, you can use chia seeds and water. Again, it just kind of gels up and gives that egg consistency. And something that I'm just starting to play with is agar powder, which is a vegetable gelatin. It actually comes from seaweed, and that also can be used in different recipes where it would call for regular gelatin, which if you don't know, that comes from pigs and also from cows. So you want to make sure that you're using a vegetable gelatin in baking as well. Moving on to cheeses. Speaking of agar powder, this is something that you can use to make a firm vegan cheese, and it is really a wonderful ingredient because it kind of opens up a whole new world when you're making your own cheeses. There's many brands out there that carry vegan cheese. I personally am not a huge fan of any of the cheeses that I've tried that are already kind of processed and made in the store. One of the higher end ones that I have tried that I like is a brand called Kite Hill. In my house, the best way to mimic a cheesy taste is using cashews, nutritional yeast, lemon, water, salt, even garlic salt, and using chickpea miso, which is pretty amazing. It has a very zesty kind of cheese taste. There's so many recipes out there. In my cookbook, I have a ton of recipes that have cheesy sauces, so go check that out. There are so many vegan recipes out there to mimic a cheesy taste. Chocolate was a hard one for me because I really thought, like, I just really like milk chocolate. What am I gonna get to replace that? But there are tons of dark chocolates that automatically, if it's above a certain percentage, are going to be vegan, and you can kind of doctor those up. There's also lots of vegan chocolates that contain rice milk, for example. I've had a white chocolate that is vegan that was just rice milk and some different sweeteners together, and it was really, really lovely. But if you want to make your own kind of milk chocolate at home, go ahead and grab some of that really super dark chocolate, and then add in a sweetener of your choice, whether it be dates or maple syrup or agave, and then you can add some nut milk. You can blend all that together or melt it down together, and then put it in the freezer, and you've got your own plant-based milk chocolate, and it's so, so tasty. If you're substituting chocolate in recipes, you can obviously use the dark chocolate, and you can also use cacao powder, which will give you a really chocolatey, rich taste. With butter, you have quite a few choices. There's a lot more plant-based margarines that are out there on the market than there used to be. My absolute favorite one is Earth Balance, but I know that that's not available everywhere around the world. There's a company that I've seen in quite a few places in Europe called Bayana, and that is actually a good close second to Earth Balance, and I've used that in the past. So those are the two that I would recommend. With sour cream, there's a brand called Tofutti. They make a really great vegan sour cream. Also, you can make a tofu sour cream on your own. Dr. McDougall has a recipe in his starch solution book that is a tofu sour cream, and it's really, really great. And as far as mayonnaise goes, there's tons of veganese or mayonnaise that are vegan out there. My favorite is a company called Just Mayo, and that's really readily available everywhere in the US. And then there's ice cream. There are so many more plant-based ice creams out there than there used to be. There are really lovely creamy ones that are made from coconut milk, cashew. This one is my absolute favorite. It is a snickerdoodle flavor, and it's made with cashew milk. It is so good. I definitely don't recommend eating this all the time, but if you really want to treat, those plant-based ice creams are really getting better and better. And then of course you can make a really guilt-free ice cream on your own with just some nut milk as well as some frozen bananas, and make some banana ice cream. Now, these things aren't essential to being vegan, but if you're trying to cut out more fat out of your diet, I just wanted to add these on or tag these on at the end of this video just so you have some more ideas. So say you want to get rid of using a lot of oils in your cooking and in your diet. A great way to do that is to get a good non-stick pan. You can start to fry and saute vegetables with nothing in there. You can use water to fry and saute, and you can also use vegetable broth. Or if you're not ready to take that complete leap, you can use a very, very small amount of olive oil mixed with water. And I know you would think olive oil and water together, how's that going to work? But it really does, and you still get that kind of oily, fried taste, but it's a lot healthier if you can just continue to cut down the oil that you use. If you're trying to decrease the amount of soda that you're drinking, I would recommend trying to add in some kombucha to your diet. That's going to not only help with your gut, and it has a lot of probiotics in it to help you, but it also has like a fizzy taste and kind of mimics having soda. Another thing you could do is take any kind of fruit juice of your choice and then do half fruit juice and half sparkling water. Around my house we call it fancy water. I know that's kind of lame, but that's what we call it. And our favorite is to put some organic grape juice along with some sparkling water, and voila, fancy water. For salad dressings, if you're trying to get oil out of your salad dressings and have them more low fat, you can use instead balsamic vinegars, lime, lemon, oranges. Just be creative and plop some things in the blender and see how it turns out. Pick your favorite spices. So I like to use salt and pepper, maybe some garlic in there. I will chop up a red pepper and an orange and put that all together, and then adding whatever flavors that you like. Just get really creative. Red peppers make a great addition to salad dressing. Zucchini makes it really creamy. So just be creative with lots of fruits and vegetables and see what it is that you like. You can also add dates in there for sweetness. You can also use a small amount of cashews or sunflower seeds to make a dressing creamy. You can use tahini, which is sesame seeds ground up. And yeah, just have fun and explore with making salad dressings. So those are some vegan alternatives that you can use in your diet. Please let me know down below what your favorite vegan alternatives are, because I'm sure there are so many more. Once you realize that you can really substitute eggs, milk, butter, dairy, any kind of dairy, meat, you really don't need it in your diet, and that's what's so wonderful about being a vegan. It's really fun to create recipes, to figure out and find those tastes that kind of mimic what you were used to eating, and not only is it better for your health and the health of your family, it's better for the animals, it's better for the factory farming, it's better for the environment. The trend is moving towards a plant-based diet for everyone. We can feed more people around the world. We have a whole lot less violence toward the animals if we all are doing a plant-based diet, or even cutting down the amount of meat and dairy that we eat every day. So those are my suggestions for some vegan alternatives. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's talk down below. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.